it's not one day that they have been in Asia. They have been there for a long time. They have mingled with the local secret societies. They have been quite active with the Opus Dei, also recently since the establishment of the Opus Dei, which was itself another Jesuit creation.
Opus Dei,
Yeah, the creation of the Jesuits, but still a very powerful creation of the Jesuits that has taken nowadays itself quite an important position in the pyramid of power, and has substituted at times the Jesuits in some key positions, like the banking system, for example.
Okay.
But the Jesuits stay in firm control, like with Padre Lombardi, of the media of the Vatican. Adolf Nicolas is a dear friend of Thomas Michel, this Jesuit priest that has been involved also with the Fethullah Gulen movement.
What's that? What's the Fethullah Gulen movement? Did I say that
right? I would
right?
like to finish on Thomas Michel.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
The Jesuit general Adolf Nicolas, which itself, as I said, was close to Thomas Michel, which was in charge of Indonesia. So, being more or less in the same, more or less neighbors, Adolf Nicolas and Thomas Michel have a very, very close relationship. At the same time, we know that Adolf Nicolas is somehow different from his predecessor, Hans Kovenbach, because Hans Kovenbach was definitely probably one of the most evil Jesuit generals we saw in the last few hundred years. But at the same time, Padre Pedro Lupe, which was preceding him, was not much better. So they're all really one worse than the other. We had hope that maybe Padre Lombardi will become the Jesuit general, because I personally myself had the possibility of having a close contact with Padre Lombardi, so I was hoping there was a possibility of dialogue of some kind but with Adolf Nicolas I don't think that dialogue is possible.
Okay.
There is no dialogue with the Jesuits at this moment of time, like in any other time, I think, because they are always trying to operate for the only interest of Rome at heart, and that's why they colonized with their university, the American intellectual establishment, with places like Georgetown University, and they continue to dictate what the elite thinks is the right thing, you know. And then you have the Jesuits that are always trying to convince they are on the right way, doing the right thing with the right people, all very innocent people, all God-loving people, and they always have a sweet word for you. They kill you with sweetness. That's the Jesuits. Because the Jesuits always know that whatever you tell to him, you know, he's gonna always be there in charge, and you're gonna be his subject. So you can tell them anything. I said to Jesuits, you know, things like, are you sure you want to carry on this interreligious dialogue? I don't think so, you're really suitable for it. And they were like, you know, we know we have a bad name, but you know, what can we do? We are men of God, we struggle. You know, they always... So the Jesuit is a character really of a chameleontic aspect in him living, you know. He's a transformer.
They're chameleons. They take on any form.
They take on any form. You can find a Muslim one day, Christian the other, Jew the other, yeah, because also you have a lot of Jesuits that are also double agents for the Zionists, including Father Malachi Martin.
Father Malachi Martin was a Jesuit double agent.
Yeah.
That wrote keys of his blood.
Well, he was.
That's the book that he wrote. His famous.
But you know that they have found the receipts of the American Jewish Committee paying him.
For that book? Or
no, paying him.
Paying him, period.
Paying him, period.
Wow. Malachi Martin. So Malachi Martin.
Because Malachi Martin was working for another important, maybe the most important Jesuit conjurer of our times, which is Cardinal Bea. Cardinal Bea, to which the Institute for Judaic Studies is dedicated in the very Jesuit Gregorian University in Rome. Well, basically, Cardinal Bea is responsible for an act of treason towards the Vatican in a way.
Right.
But that was because they made a deal between the Jesuit and the Zionists, between the Cardinal Bea and the American Jewish Committee. And I think it was Rabbi Ashram, if I don't get it wrong with the name.
Okay.
But this deal included the fact that they had to pervert the course of things and favor the Jewish nation and the Jewish people. So in the Vatican Council II, this the great manipulator of the Vatican Council was Cardinal Bea.
Cardinal Bea. Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
Cardinal Bea, he was the great manipulator. And Malachi Martin was his secretary, or was working for him basically. So you have double agents. Pure and simple. And obviously it's in the interest of the double agent sometimes to favor one current on the other, depending on who is paying him better, you know. But definitely the fact that he has criticized the Vatican is in itself an important aspect, because he has made many criticisms that are true. Ratzinger is blackmailed by Adolf Nicholas, because Adolf Nicholas, like Hans Kovenbach, has and knows very well that Ratzinger, Pope Benedict XVI, had a gay lover, so it was very easy to blackmail him. So Ratzinger is a very easily blackmailable puppet.
So Adolfo Nicholas is really the man of power at this juncture.
But also you have Madre Tecla for the nuns, the Brigidine. So you have the equal of the Jesuits in the female world is called the Brigidine, and Madre Tecla is their head, like the Jesuit general.
Okay.
And she's a personal friend of Fidel Castro, personal friend of the brother of Fidel Castro is now in control, and that's why she organized the first papal visit to Cuba, and she was also very important in the recent visit that the Vatican arranged in Cuba just when Castro was leaving the power. You know, why do you think a Vatican representative goes the week Castro is leaving the power? Why? To have a Cuban cigar? I mean, you know, obviously wasn't that the case. It's because his passing on the power has to be always monitored by the Vatican.
Let me ask you a question. Why did Hans Kolvenbach step down? What information do you have on that?
Thomas Michel, when I met him last year in May in Oslo, the secretary of the Interreligious Dialogue of the Jesuits, which is the second person really most powerful in the Jesuits, he told me that for the first time somebody was stepping down, because usually they die in the position of Jesuit general, they don't step down. He said that Hans Kovenbach was very old, and he was getting increasingly tired, and I think wants to retire in Lebanon to work on the Middle East more closely, and probably usher some more mayhem down there. I don't know. It's Hans Kovenbach definitely is not dead. He's still alive and still probably very much in charge of a few things, including the media of the Vatican, which is in the hands of Padre Lombardi, which was supposed to become himself the Jesuit general this time, but didn't. And the most powerful people in the Jesuits at the moment are Adolf Nicholas, then you have Padre Lombardi, then you have Thomas Michel, and you have Hans Kovenbach in the background still there.
Okay.
These are the key people in the Jesuits today.